Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, Beauty Within Sickle Cell. I'm Jasmine, and for this week's Sickle Cell Sunday, I'm going to be talking about how sickle cell disease is an invisible illness. And what do I mean by invisible illness? Well, since it is a blood disorder and sickle cell affects mainly the red blood cells in the body, you really can't tell from the outside what's going on with my body. So pretty much what you can't see to most people isn't there, so most people have a misconception on sickle cell about, oh, you look perfectly fine, you look gorgeous, you look all these comments, and deep inside we're having pain crisis, or we're going through some major difficulties, major health problems, and these comments aren't really the greatest to hear when you're going through major health problems. So I'm gonna jump right in and I'm gonna talk about my experience with some of these comments. I'm gonna just speak from the heart and kind of go from there, speak what's on my mind and say what I have to say, and hopefully you guys learn something new. Alrighty guys, so I'm gonna start off this video by asking you guys a quick and general question. So my question to you guys would be, how do I appear? From looking at me, I'm sure many of you wouldn't have a big opinion, and where I'm heading with this is, by looking at me, you cannot tell that I have sickle cell disease, right? So that was kind of my question. But at the end of the day, I have sickle cell. I live with this disease for the rest of my life, and I live with it on a daily basis. Right now, as I'm filming this video, I am in a pain crisis. I had to take my pain medication and I'm not feeling 100%, which maybe that's why this video may not be 100%, but I still want to give you guys the weekly videos and advocate for sickle cell. But where I'm going with this is, from me having a little makeup on, maybe a little lashes, I just have mascara, a little lipstick, blush, some natural makeup, you guys can't or will not have assumed that I have sickle cell disease. If you see me walking on the street, if I was to walk by you, if you were to see me on the street, you would think, oh, this girl is rocking it, she got her makeup, she's doing her thing, and sickle cell would never come to your mind. So many people think that sickle cell disease is just primarily affects the African American community. Unfortunately, sickle cell does not only just affect the African American community, it affects Indian, Mediterranean, even Latinos, and so many races. So there are many faces and races to this disease. So this is why I'm saying sickle cell disease is an invisible illness. It's an invisible disability. Most people don't think of the daily struggles us patients have to go through. Number one, when you look at me, you wouldn't assume that I have had a stroke in the past, or maybe 2 corneal transplants, or several acute chest syndromes. Another thing, you wouldn't assume that I just recently had a knee surgery called a core decompression to help with the necrosis in my knee, which are major effects of the sickle cell disease. So going off of that is why I'm saying this is the invisible illness that us sickle cell patients have to put up with, and people not thinking that we're really in pain. Going into my next thing, I have noticed that many people, and this can include healthcare professionals or even your friends and family, I have seen that sometimes when people get real comfortable with you, they start thinking that you're almost faking this disease, and that is not the case. Sickle cell disease patients encounter daily pain, or most of its patients encounter daily pain among with its other symptoms. Like right now, in this moment, I'm having a lot of knee pain, ankle pain, and hip pain. So a lot of joint pain. And it's very difficult for people to know what we're going through. I really have had family members to friends think that, oh, you're overreacting, you know, you're always sick, or, you know, little comments like that. And the problem is that when you have a blood disorder like sickle cell disease, your body is destroying itself little by little, basically. So of course we're going to be in constant pain, or we're not going to be feeling 100. A lot of its patients could also encounter low oxygen, which could affect the mood. It could affect pain levels as well, and you know, it could even affect the way the person thinks. In general, sickle cell can affect anything from your energy levels to the way you concentrate on things, to even your productivity at the end of the day. You might not be able to go ahead and do those dishes you want to do, or do the laundry you need to do, or even your homework, or even want to go to work because you're in so much pain. I'm here to tell you that if you're a sickle cell warrior's friend or family member, or if you're even someone new learning about sickle cell, please do not judge the person and be very supportive about the situation. You might want to ask them how they're feeling and kind of get a feel for the situation. Most of the time, friends and family members can get very overwhelmed with having to deal with a person who is sick on a constant or daily basis. So it's important for, you know, either the caregivers, the family members, the friends, to really get an understanding about how to help the patient. This kind of leads into this next topic about sickle cell and how hard it is to explain to a normal person that we're sick, that we have pain, that we're not feeling 100, and in the end, sometimes they have their own judgment and they think you're either lazy, they don't think you're really sick, or, you know, they just don't believe you. I have dealt with this a lot in my life, and I've noticed that a lot of the people who are judging me the most were the people who really didn't understand this disease. And those people are no longer my friends. At the time, I thought they were my friends. I thought we were all happy and dandy. But at the end of the day, at the end of the year, when I thought about the situation, I'm no longer friends with those people. So I feel, as a sickle cell patient, if you have people doubting you, if you have people not believing in you and supporting you like you should be, you should push those people away, because in the long run, you need people who support you. You need people who are rooting for you, who know what you're going through and can sympathize with you and even empathize a little bit. Even in regards to family members, some family members assume that we're being lazy, that nothing is wrong with you, when in reality, for an example, I went to bed at 3 in the morning, 4 in the morning because of a pain crisis. I don't fall asleep until maybe 6 in the morning, until the pain medication fully kicks in. And sometimes on those days, I will wake up really late, maybe around anywhere from noon to 3 o'clock p.m. On those really horrible days, I would have family members thinking I'm lazy, that I just want to sleep in all the time, that I don't want to fulfill my obligations, when in reality, I had a really rough night of pain medication. I had to deal with the pain medication after effects and just feeling miserable. So it's really hard as a sickle cell patient to fight the prejudices that people have against us, but it is our duty to really educate people and make them understand, or teach them, or include them in conversations about sickle cell, to really help that person understand what you're going through. It's a very difficult process, it's a long process, but it'll be worth it in the end when you can help more people learn about this disease. And not only will you help this person learn about sickle cell disease, but that person is going to get to know you. Sometimes healthcare professionals are very surprised at how healthy I will look on the outside, but when they get the lab results, it tells a very different story. Sometimes I can have a hemoglobin of 6.0, of 8.1, of 9.1. It depends on the day, it depends on the crisis, it depends on what symptoms you're encountering. So for those healthcare professionals that are misjudging us, you know, it's such a rough situation, but the only thing we can do is educate them, not to judge us, and to wait until those results tell the truth. Only those results, the blood test, the x-rays, and all those testings, they can paint a pretty different picture on how our body looks on the inside. And I'm sure that most of the time when a sickle cell patient comes into the hospital or into the clinic, the doctor's office, that the labs are not going to be the best, and it's just not right to be judged on how we look on the outside, or, you know, based on even skin color. I've had people tell me that, oh, I have the wrong room number, I'm looking for a sickle cell patient, and we have to clearly tell them, hey, I do have sickle cell. There are many misconceptions about sickle cell, and I could spend hours talking about them, but I really want this video to be a short one, and I just kind of wanted to start picking at the eyes and see what you guys thought about this issue, and have you guys encountered any of these issues? I'm sure many of you have, and many of you will even encounter them in the future, because there's so many misconceptions nowadays. At the end of the day, the patients should be treated with respect, with dignity, and according to their needs. Not every sickle cell patient has the same needs. A different sickle cell warrior might encounter different symptoms. So every sickle cell patient is truly different. The body responds differently. So, you know, all these patients are different, and we need to be treated with the respect that we deserve. We need to stop these prejudice accusations, the prejudice comments, and, you know, they're not helpful. Like, you know, if you're a healthcare professional and you're making these comments, it's really not appropriate at the end of the day to be making comments about sickle cell patients and their pain, or maybe how they're drug seekers, or you really need to look at the results, at how the body is deteriorating. Like I said, right now I'm going through a pain crisis, and it'll be very hard for a healthcare professional to come right now and look at me, and I'm gonna have a full face of makeup, I'm gonna have lipstick, and they're gonna think this girl is nuts. She is probably not in pain, or whatever prejudice comments they want to come up with. Sometimes they don't even think I have sickle cell disease, so they'll run an exam just to make sure I'll have sickle cell disease based on my skin color, because I'm not part of the African American community. There's so many boundaries and comments and that have been broken by healthcare professionals, even family members and friends, and we all just need to unite and, you know, stand up, educate, and even one day find a cure for sickle cell disease. It's a tough disease, and I cannot wish this pain on anyone. You know, I compare sometimes the pain to the pain of giving birth, but on a daily basis sometimes. And with giving birth, you pop that kid out and you get rid of the pain. Unless you have a C-section, you might heal in like 30 days to 3 months, let's put it like. But the pain will soon end, and you have a beautiful baby at the end of the day. But with us, all we have is pain and complications and the people's judgments that can affect us as well. The pain is so miserable. It's almost like having glass running down your veins and cutting you, and it's just a painful disease. I feel like knives are stabbing me. It's such a hard pain to describe, but you know, at the end of the day, we cannot really judge what my pain will be compared to the next person's pain. everyone tolerates pain differently, and you know, there are different patients. Like I said, not everyone's sickle cell is the same, and not everyone has the same pain tolerance. So yeah, anyways guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please let me know if you guys have encountered any crazy comments or any crazy accusations, or you know, anything similar to my story and you know how I feel. Please let me know if you have any further questions or comments, or if you have any other Sickle Cell Sunday videos, topics that you would like me to talk about in the future. Please leave them down below so I can make a video and discuss them. Anyways guys, thank you so much for watching. Please remember to check out my Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, and my Twitter account. I'll leave them linked down below in the description box. And also don't forget to please like, comment, and subscribe. Also, please don't forget to share this video with your loved ones on your social media. Don't forget to tag me. You could always use the hashtag BeautywithinSickleCell. And yeah, thank you so much for watching, and as always, I'll see you in the next video. Bye guys.